Good afternoon. It is October 2nd, 2020. We're still enjoying 100-degree days here in sunny southern Arizona. That's 38 degrees Celsius to the rest of the world. One of the few miracles that was recorded in all four Gospels is the feeding of the 5,000. To the first century mindset of those eating the food, it evoked thoughts of God feeding the Israelites with manna from heaven. Mark recorded it in Mark chapter 6, verses 34 to 44. I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition. He records the event like this. Jesus saw the huge crowd as he stepped from the boat, and he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. Late in the afternoon, his disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the nearby farms and villages and buy something to eat." But Jesus said, "You feed them." "With what?" they asked. "We'd have to work for months to earn enough money to buy food for all these people." "Well, how much bread do you have?" he asked. "Go and find out." They came back and reported, "We have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish." Then Jesus told his disciples to have the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups of 50 or 100. Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, looked up toward heaven, and blessed them. Then breaking the loaves into pieces, he kept giving the bread to the disciples so they could distribute it to the people. He also divided the fish for everyone to share. They all ate as much as they wanted, and afterwards the disciples picked up 12 baskets of leftover bread and fish. A total of 5,000 men and their families were fed. It's one of the most awe-inspiring moments in the New Testament. See, Jesus gave a command that the disciples clearly did not have the resources to obey. He wanted to do a miracle, and he wanted the disciples to recognize and be certain that they could not accomplish the task. He said, "You feed them." Do you have any idea of the logistics necessary to feed 5,000 men with their wives and children? When you serve the Jesus of the Bible, you should not be surprised when he expects more from you than you are able to handle. That is the miracle working realm. If they'd had a franchise fast food place right there, they'd be hard pressed to serve 10 to 15,000 sandwiches in an hour. But God's miracles can overwhelm our concept of our abilities. When they received this command, they realized instantly that they could not accomplish it. It would take months to raise the money by natural means. Then Jesus responded to their recognition of their lack with a very curious question. He said, "What do you have? Go and find out. What's available for God's immediate use? Not what's in your larder back home, set aside for winter. What do you have right now? What do you have available for God's use? What of your resources is freely given for God's use? What of your time, your energy has been freely offered to God?" Jesus took what amounts to a boy's lunch, 5 loaves and 2 fish, and blessed them and fed the multitudes. Our paltry resources, blessed by God, can do miraculous provisions. It's not our meager resources that make the difference. It's the blessing and provision of Almighty God. Jesus could have fed the multitudes without the offering of the bread and fish, but he chose to take and multiply that which was freely offered. I encourage you, give freely to God of your time, your energy, your prayer, your worship, and yourself, and enjoy watching him multiply what you give into miracle realms. God bless you.